been a while, hasn't it?
Holy smokes, it's been 2 years since I've uploaded on this YouTube channel, and 2 years since I last live streamed on Twitch. Honestly, it feels like yesterday. It doesn't feel like that long ago, but I realize that life moves by really quick, and you look back behind you and you're like, oh crap, it's been 700 plus days since I last live streamed or uploaded or created any form of content. Now, I know you guys are probably going to expect some grand answer as to why I'm not here anymore and why I haven't done anything with this live streaming and content creation stuff. The simple answer is just life. I've been doing this.
You read my mind about that, Ash. I mean, that kind of gap here in the first 5.5 minutes of this.
I've been doing that. And so much more. But those are just the exciting parts that I'm sharing, right? It's mostly just been adulthood, honestly. Work and work and work. Now, if you guys have the elephant memory that I do, you probably remember me mentioning that I do live with multiple people with family in this household because California is really expensive to live in, and it's the best place to live in for really good employment opportunities for your future. I kind of had like a self-reflection moment as to why I stopped recording and why I stopped live streaming stuff. And simply put, life in adulthood with full-time employment and the inability to have the privacy and space to be able to create content and to live stream is the general answer. I realized after thinking about it for so long that me recording content and me live streaming was definitely the byproduct of being a college student with a part-time job and also the COVID-19 lockdown. See, in 2020, that's when I really started to go live on Twitch and create videos on YouTube and such on a very frequent basis. And when you had family that were essential workers, yes, the jump cut, I forgot what the term was called. It's been 4 years since we were locked down. When you had family that were essential workers, a lot of them, left the house and you had the whole place to yourself, let's say apart from one person, and you spent all that time thinking to yourself like, well, what do? I have no job. I'm on online school. Well, we can live stream. And in retrospect, it's like that was a really cool thing to do during that time. And also why I got so good at sim racing was because I decided to try the whole like Gran Turismo FIA stuff while we were in lockdown, and I took it more seriously. It makes sense as to why around the middle of 2021 the live streaming stuff just wasn't as frequent as before, and I realized that wait, the state of California had lifted the COVID restrictions at that time, and I just went outside and just started to explore the world. I made it no secret on this channel and through stories and such that I didn't really live a life my first 25 years. A lot of that was for sure like the byproduct of an abusive environment, bullying, and battles of my own. But around that time, I started to attend events, started to go out by myself, meet people, make friends, experience all this stuff in the world, and I don't regret any of it. Unfortunately, 2022 was really the last time I was able to live stream and such, but at this point in time, I'm not going to say that live streaming is completely over for me or creating content, but return stuff is definitely to be determined. I think what matters the most is space and time. Space as in having the ability to be able to record in an environment that is quiet, without interruption, without people being upset about it, because I do live in a small space because, again, California issues with rent pricing and such. And then also time. Like, time is really important because while, yes, I would have time, let's say, to live stream in the morning or in the evenings, they would be at times that are so unideal that it wouldn't make sense to stream, let's say, like 5 in the morning on my end. Like, yes, that could be my European audience and such, but let's say like my energy levels and I would be just groggy and such, and I missed streaming when I streamed like at noon my time, Pacific Standard Time. But I promise that this isn't the end. I don't think I'm gonna go anywhere per se. I really do want to come back, regardless if it's regularly or infrequently or rarely or such. I don't want to stop creating content. I really do want to come back, and I'll find some sort of ways to be creative with trying to come back. But right now, it's just not necessarily a good time for that. I do want to stress that I am okay. Like, life is honestly pretty fucking awesome, and even though I'm not necessarily like doing these crazy extravagant like rich stuff, because it's not the truth or anything, I will say that just experiencing the true human experience is really cool. And trust me, I have so many stories to tell in the future on my live streams. I just have all these topics in my head about the things that I experienced and what I've done, and I can't wait to share them all with you on Twitch at some point. Now, those stories do include but aren't limited to falling in love for the first time and being led on by a person I was in love with, Skip Barber Racing School, my first time at a nightclub, emo night stories, finally accepting that I'm a goddamn furry, my Honda Civic Si as you saw in the intro, and stories relating to it, doing PRI in Indianapolis, stories about trading comfort for growth, explorations with being pan and realizing I'm pan, and so much more. I will find a time to be able to do that. I just don't know when exactly that would be, so that's why I said to be determined. But I do promise you all that live streaming on my end isn't over completely. I will say this, I do miss live streaming. I do miss creating content. However, I don't feel the need to have it completely back in my life to be happy. Hear me out on this one. I know it sounds like a complete contradiction. Anyways, I used to get really angry at the idea that the circumstances that I shared completely stopped the ability for me to live stream and to continue to create content like I used to. But sometime last year, I accepted the fact that these are just the circumstances that I'm currently in at the moment, and while it would be amazing to return to creating content, it is one of those things where if I lived without it, I would be completely happy knowing that I at least entertained a lot of people on the internet. I was able to make some really cool online friends, especially during a time in my life where I didn't really know who I was, and I didn't have any happiness within. And it's really cool because yes, while I still struggle with certain things in my life, I'm really fucking happy now, and I feel like I'm personally thriving, and it's really, really cool to just be here in general and be able to give you guys an update video. I really do miss you guys. I miss you guys so goddamn much, but I do just want to end before I continue to like rant and ramble or whatever, that I really appreciate the people who reach out to me either on Twitter or Discord or leave YouTube comments asking where I am and how I'm doing. It really does mean a lot, you know, like, yeah, it may not seem like I do read these, but trust me, I read every single one, except for the dumb YouTube comments, like, yeah, you know what I mean. Regardless, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching up to this point. If you made it here, I really, really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys soon. But until then, please take care of yourselves, and don't forget, life isn't easy, but you matter. You're a very important person. Everyone has special abilities within them. Don't forget that. No matter how tough life gets, the struggles we all go through as humans are completely worth it. Trust me, everyone. You got this, and you're loved, and if you don't feel like you're loved, well, I love you. Anyways, take care, y'all. See you some point.